In all hell let loose news.
Oh no.
Submitted by Jomalian Rival. Ain't no rival, bitch. Get the fuck on that.
You mean like you're already dead?
You motherfucker.
You're dead.
Fuck, man.
They're submitting from the afterlife.
Yeah, you already died.
You mean ghosts?
Khabib Nurmagomedov climbed out of the UFC octagon and started a brawl after his win over Conor McGregor.
Did your knees just crack?
That's crazy.
I know.
Is this gonna be a 20-minute article?
They were there. They were there.
We were fucking there.
Hey, right here too.
Were you like, I don't need the article because I was fucking there and I saw everything?
What?
Did you say you don't need to fucking study because you were there in the presence?
Yeah, he has your back.
Oh yeah.
And you should have done on location. This is JK News. Tiffany reporting.
Right. Oh,
We did.
That would have been tight.
We did. We both did. The vlogs.
I know, but it wasn't on. It wasn't live. We should have.
Y'all should have.
Oh, we did. We did.
You should have went there with that
Stories.
jacket and a
I know.
microphone,
Stories.
dude.
I know.
You should have went out there like, this is Tiffany reporting live from JK News here at the UFC.
Now you look like the lawyer.
Yeah. Judge, lawyer, everything at the same time.
You guys all know this story.
Hell yeah. Who doesn't know this story? This is like fucking groundbreaking.
Dude, I was so worried for you guys. I texted you guys to see if you guys
That
were
was so
okay.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
Like legit,
That was sweet.
Well, because the reason why I was worried is because this jackass had the fucking Khabib hat and the McGregor shirt. I was like, take that shit off.
Yeah, I had to tell him to take it off.
Okay.
Because he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna leave it on.
I was gonna get jumped by both sides.
Why can't you have both on?
Because people were already drunk at that. So it's already like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and people
But you're
were
not.
drunk.
Were people trying to fuck with Bart?
No, but there's fights
But they
breaking
were
out.
already-
So you know the minute that Khabib jumped over,
Yeah.
there's a fight there, right? Then Conor McGregor gets into a fight in the cage too. Then instantly about 3 other fights break out. Fights in the lobby, fights in the clubs 2 hours later. Like Vegas was just rioting. It was fucking
It was
crazy.
like a Tupac concert back in the 90s.
Yeah. It was as if they were personal friends of theirs or something. Like, calm the fuck down, you losers. And I saw those fights on the YouTubes. The worst fights I've ever seen in my life.
Did you see that one white guy that got knocked out twice?
Yes.
You got knocked out twice?
There's a guy, he comes in, right? And it's obviously, like, all the Khabib fans, they look like Khabib fans. They look like 5 Nadims.
Are you talking about the fight that happened in the floor? Or are you talking about the one that happened like outside?
There's one in the lobby.
There's too many.
Yeah, there's 2.
But what you're referencing right now, the guy that got knocked out twice.
In the lobby.
Oh, okay.
So this guy, there's a team of Nadims standing there. This guy comes in, he's
There
like,
were a lot of Nadims.
he's all like talking shit. He gets kicked, punched in the face, he gets knocked out, right? He goes off to the side. That Nadim looking dude is fighting some other dude. And this guy jumps in like prancing in like a fairy, like a fairy for some reason. And boom, he gets knocked out again.
Bad. I felt bad for that guy, man. He was just so fucking drunk. You know what I mean? Like, he had no idea. Anything touched his face, he would have knocked out. Because he was so fucking drunk. It was to that point where his legs were stiff and his arms were just.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
He was drunk.
You know that dude, Brendan Schwab from Fighter and the Kid? He called it out.
Schwab.
Brendan Schaub, yeah. No W's.
I thought he was making a joke.
Les Schwab. All right.
Maybe he's making a joke.
No, it's Mr. Schwab's.
Yeah.
No, but he called this out.
Oh yeah, for sure he did.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not going to this event.
Joe Rogan posted this shit.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, like when you're close enough to that world, I guess you know the behind the scenes and how like real that shit is, and I just thought it was a publicity thing that they were doing.
It was publicity for McGregor. It wasn't for.
I didn't think it was publicity. I mean, I think from the beginning I never felt like it was publicity. As soon as McGregor got arrested for throwing a fucking dolly, I was like, oh shit, this beef is for real.
But I also know that Conor is crazy. And so that anything that Conor does, I can always view it as publicity because I think he's a marketing genius.
Yeah.
He knows what's gonna get people going, what's gonna get people riled up. I think he has enough lawyers around him where he knows his boundaries. Khabib coming from the villages of Dagestan, I don't think he understands when people talk shit. It's like afterwards, it's like, oh cool, you know, good fight. You know, I don't think he knew that. That's why I think like in the cage, when Khabib was still fucking pissed, his own homie DC was like, calm down, but he talked about my father, my religion. He goes, yeah, that's just to promote the fight. And then, so I think like
So that was a real fight to Khabib.
To Khabib, because at every press conference when they're like face to face, nose to nose, you should see like Conor's like he's like putting on a circus act. Khabib's just like,
I will kill like I fight bear as a child.
It was weird because like because you guys were down there, you know, and we just were watching it from like the TV screen and stuff. It's kind of crazy because you could see like intent. So like when I watched that match, the first thing I said was McGregor.
McGregor and Schwab, I love it.
McGregor looks sloppy. That's the first thing I said. He looked like he was not ready for a fight. He looked like he put more into his promotion than he did the fight.
I think so.
I got worried, right? I was like, dude, Khabib is a fucking monster. And on top of that, he's oversized for his weight class.
Yeah.
So if you just think about that in general, he's gonna get fucking murdered.
Yeah.
So when I was watching that shit, if you guys watch the replay, you'll see a couple of clips where McGregor does this. He goes, hey man, it's only business. He literally said that to him. And then
When?
to Khabib, when they broke up on, I think it was like the second round. He said it to Khabib. He goes, it's only business. So he even knew, like, oh shit, it's for real, for real. So he goes, it's only business. And then Khabib goes, yeah, I guess so. Meaning that he goes, oh, it's only business? I don't fucking think so. I'm gonna fucking destroy you.
Yeah, he doesn't know what that means.
Remember when I was texting you?
Yeah.
And he was pounding him in the face. I told you they thought that it was McGregor talking shit. It was actually Khabib. And Khabib was saying to him, he goes, let's talk now. Let's talk. Let's talk. Bah, bah. Let's talk.
Yeah.
And then McGregor was just shelled up.
Because that didn't look like sportsman-like punches. That was like some, I'm murdering
Trying to kill you.
Yeah.
That was like some gorilla, like at like the top rage level, just.
It was bad, man.
I saw the meme where they did that whole Hulk and in the Avengers. Yeah, and he was just like pop, pop, pop.
And then fucking Dylan Dennis was talking shit on the outside of the cage.
I wish I could hear that.
He basically called him a terrorist. He kept on calling him a terrorist.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
you kept calling him a
Why would he still do that?
Dylan Dennis is so fucking stupid. Like, I love that dude's jujitsu, but he is out of his fucking mind. He is like one of the worst MMA fighters on earth. His stand-up game is trash. His ground game is great. He's only had one match and he's talking that much shit.
Wait, so why did Khabib jump and go toward the train to jump kick him? Like what got him going?
Well, Dylan Dennis has been talking. Dylan Dennis thinks he's McGregor, like straight up. Like he talks hella shit. He has this type of bravado, but he has no background for it. So he's been talking like mad shit towards Khabib and his team the whole time.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with him, right?
Yeah.
So he kept on calling him like a terrorist rat throughout the whole thing, and Khabib was listening to it, so he could hear it. In the second and third round, you could see him look over at Dennis because he could hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then he just a little bit too overboard. Things got a little hype, and that's when he went over to.
Yeah, I think that's completely uncalled for. Like for him to do it at that point, because we all know, at least from our end, right? Like us here, we know that it's all a marketing ploy, right? They're trying to sell tickets. That's just what McGregor does. It's also a mind game that he's doing. But for this guy, the fight already started, and to continue to do that, now that sounds like some fighting words.
But you know, that's actually very prevalent in all sports though.
To still fuck with the fighter.
When you're like playing basketball, you ever see the free throws? Everyone's going like this.
Yeah.
And people are going up and down the court. People are yelling at like.
They're trying to get into your
Fuck
head.
you, LeBron. Fuck. Like if you're like Lakers in Boston playing Celtics, everyone is talking mad shit. It's like
That's
so
true.
that type
Yeah,
of
that's
environment,
true.
it's pretty normal.
That's true.
It's pretty normal. I just don't think Khabib
Understood it.
understood the American arena, because I think for him, like he's been training for this since he was 4, right? And he's been in sambo, and he's like, I think he thinks of like in Russia, a sportsman is equivalent to a gentleman. There's a way you conduct yourself, and it's not really sports entertainment out there. It's more like sports athlete, gentleman. You're a high part of society. Over here, you're sports entertainment.
Yeah.
So I don't think he understood the two. So I think for him, like think about like how the NBA looks like versus basketball and the Olympics looks like. It's way, there's no fucking licking of the fingers. It's like, that was awesome, and you know, walk back. So I think like he didn't understand all that, and all of that shit just got to his head. He's pretty much like, fuck this place, I kill you, I kill you, I kill everybody.
It was pretty crazy, especially because like his teammates came in, and that dude socked Conor behind his head. You know what I mean? And so I don't know who it was that he had an altercation with, but that guy swung at Conor, and then Conor countered him. Boom! Even when he's tired, he countered him. Just bah!
That part is what's tight, where like these guys, they know how to fight
turned it
so
on.
good. Like the skills just can't escape. Like Conor was fighting one guy, he gets hit from the back, he immediately covers and pivots around. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that's tight, dude.
Becomes like walking.
Yeah.
I was reading some shit though that Connor's camp and everyone isn't as calculated as people believe to be, because they're also like some ghetto ass Irish kids that they wanted to like load up the plane with a bunch of their homies and like rumble too. Like they had the intent to go in there to start some shit. Like there was a lot of tension. So it wasn't like one group is like, oh, we're just doing this for marketing and whatever, and then
Well, that's
like,
what happened with the
other
whole Dolly thing. They
Yeah.
flew there
Exactly.
on purpose to,
Yeah.
to
It's
do
just
that.
for me, it's disappointing because number one, like UFC had such a hard time getting off his legs, right? So like even like Ferguson said it himself, that fucking maniac, he was like, he's trying to bring it to like an Olympic level, because people are trying to bring mixed martial arts to an Olympic level. It's not gonna happen. Not because of stuff like this. It's not going to happen, you know?
But it also sucks because like Dana White is one, and obviously his whole team, right, is pushing for it to become something like that. But then at the same time, the exact same team is rewarding that type of behavior. Because how many repercussions is McGregor? Like, I'm a big McGregor fan and I love him and whatever, but like all that, like he jumped the octagon and got in like Jose Aldo's face, right? Like before that fight, and they had that altercation or whatever, but that got rewarded. He got a bonus because he's selling more tickets.
People are fucking dumb though. So people have been using that as an argument, right? It's like, well, didn't you see him when he jumped over to the cage and went to Jose Aldo? He didn't touch him.
They didn't, right? Because they both understood that it's a marketing. But that's what I'm saying. Like it got upped from that point. It got upped a little bit more, and like that's what I'm saying. Like that type of behavior kept getting rewarded to the point now that it's like you have to be that extreme and that big.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, though. But that's how boxing is too. Boxing has that shit. You talk about Tyson. He literally said, "I'm gonna fuck you in the ass till you fucking love me, faggot." You know what I mean? Like there is that in other sports.
I'll eat your children.
Children. You know, and so there's. Like, this sport is so interesting, and the reason why I was disappointed in Khabib is because, number one, you fucked him up. Number two, you were the good guy. So
yeah, the whole time everyone viewed you as a good guy. Yeah, true.
Conor was fucking, like, the fans thought he was like whatever, but after he won, people were cheering for Khabib. So that means at this point, dude, you were on the top, and now you have a little fucking asterisk against your name now. And I hate that because Khabib is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's why Daniel was trying to, Cormier was trying to calm him down. It's like, bro, like, you got this. You're good. You're good. You're good. But then because of that, now people are gonna, he has a little tarnish on his record now.
Well, I heard there's a lot of sanctions that's gonna happen on.
Oh yeah, dude, the commission is gonna come after him, dude.
Yeah.
They're even holding on. They're saying that they're considering keeping the entire $2 million purse.
Oh, that sucks.
You know what's crazy is like during the fight, like when we saw Khabib choke out Conor, and then like everyone's like, "Fuck!" The impossible is happening, and then like the minute when he let go and he threw the mouthpiece, like no one was expecting some crazy shit like that. Everyone was just thinking, like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's just this is the regular UFC. He climbs over, and then that's when I get all these goosebumps all over.
Getting him right now.
Yeah, I'm getting him right now because it's like witnessing Mike Tyson bite Holyfield's ear. Yeah. It's like being there.
I think everyone did because immediately we're all stood up. We're like, what?
Yeah, we all stood. We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And even after the after Conor gets escorted, Khabib gets escorted. Bruce Buffer comes out all awkwardly and still by himself, the lightweight champion. And then we're just looking at each other. Are we supposed to stay here? Like, is Dana gonna make a statement? Is Rogan's gonna make a statement? Everyone's looking at each other. And then, of course, all the Conor fans are fucking pissed. They're like, fuck you, fuck you. Everyone's just, fuck you. We see fights breaking out.
Yeah, it was very eloquent, fuck you, because they have their Irish accent. And I'm like, that's dope.
Fuck you, mate.
And they dim the lights, and then we're like,
you're mad backwards cunt.
If it wants to be taken seriously as a sport, they have to stop conducting themselves like WWE.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was thinking about your boxing statement, and it's like, things like that didn't happen, I think, in boxing till way later.
Yeah.
Like, when it became an Olympic sport, when it was all that, like, it was still, I think it was a level of gentleman and sportsmanship. And then after, like, pro boxing, and then, like when it became more entertainment with the days of, like, people, like, becoming characters in boxing and then, like, becoming showmans, I think that's when it started going crazy.
And that's also the difference between Olympic boxing and pro boxing too.
Right, yeah.
So that's why, like, after, if you
that's right. Yeah.
You go into Olympic boxing if you're pro already.
Yeah.
Olympic is the highest level of amateur boxing, and then when you go pro, that's when they know it's sports entertainment and all the showmanship comes in. But when you look at the matches, it's almost like Olympic boxing looks like fencing. Everyone's quiet, no one's cheering, and it's like almost boring. And then you have pro boxing where it's just way crazier.